Good afternoon, my dear children. We are continuing with our NEET courses MCQ session. We are moving to the second part of our topic, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. We will be discussing the multiple choice questions, their options, and the explanation for the correct option. So, here is our first question. Which is the largest cell of the mature angiospermic embryo sac? Options given are antipodal cell, synergids, central cell, and egg cell. Already we discussed that an angiospermic mature embryo sac consists of one egg cell, two synergids, three antipodals, and one central cell. And from the diagram, you can see that the central cell is the largest cell. So the answer is option C, central cell. Second question. The structure which guides the pollen tube into the synergid is antipodals, aril, filiform apparatus, and germ pore. Here, first we have to know about the filiform apparatus. That is, it is a highly thickened structure of synergids and present on the cell walls of the synergids at the micropylar end, consisting of numerous finger-like projections into the synergid cytoplasm. The function of filiform apparatus is to guide the pollen tube into the synergids. So note this function. It gives the necessary chemical guidance for the entry of pollen tube through one of the synergids. So here the answer is option C, filiform apparatus. Moving to the third question. The nutritive tissue present in the ovule are called options nucellus, embryo, integuments, and funicle. Here you know that the nutritive tissue of the angiospermic ovule is nucellus. So the answer is option A, nucellus. Fourth question. In 40% of angiosperms, the pollen grains are shed at 4-cell stage, 3-cell stage, 2-celled stage, and 5-celled stage. So before entering into the explanation, let me show you one interesting fact from your textbook. We just turn the page number 23 of your textbook, chapter Sexual Reproduction in Flowering Plants. There you can see in over 60% of angiosperms, pollen grains are shed at this 2-celled stage. In the remaining species, the generative cell divides mitotically to give rise to the two male gametes before pollen grains are shed. 3-celled stage. So here you can clearly see that this question is framed from the textual content. So here they mentioned the 60% of angiosperms and also mentioned the remaining species, and focusing that area, that is the remaining percent will be the 40%. This question is framed. So now you can understand the explanation clearly. See, pollen grains are shed from the anther either in 2-celled or in 3-celled condition. It's already given that 60% of the angiosperms, pollen grains are shed at 2-celled stage. Now in the remaining, that is the 40% of angiosperm, the pollen grains are shed at 3-celled stage. So the answer is B. Answer B, three-celled stage. Fifth question. Production of seeds without fertilization is called parthenocarpy, parthenogenesis, apomixis, or apogamy. So here we have to recollect the facts. Production of fruits without fertilization. Focus clearly. Production of fruits without fertilization is called parthenocarpy. Parthenogenesis. That is, in some organisms like rotifers, honeybees, and even some lizards and birds, the female gamete undergoes development to form new organisms without fertilization. And this phenomenon is called parthenogenesis. Now comes the apomixis, that is, production of seeds without fertilization. Here it is production of seeds without fertilization is apomixis. And that is the correct answer. So option C is the correct answer, that is apomixis. Next question. Polygonum type of embryo sac is 8-celled, haploid, 14-nucleated, or monosporic. Polygonum type of embryo sac is the most common type of embryo sac in angiosperms. Approximately 80% of the flowering plants have this type of embryo sac. Polygonum type of embryo sac or female gametophyte is generated from a functional megaspore. It is generated from a functional megaspore, which is haploid in nature and located at the chelacal end. Since it is produced from a haploid megaspore, it will be haploid in nature. So here the answer will be answer B, haploid. Option B. Next question. In entomophily, flowers are option A, nectarless, dull colored, with sticky pollen grain, and small sized solitary flowers. Pollination by the agency of insects is said to be entomophily or insect pollination. Now let's see the characters of entomophilous flowers. Entomophilous flowers are large and brightly colored for attracting the insects. They commonly produce fragrance. It may be pleasant or foul. They produce nectar. They supply food to the insects in the form of honey or pollen grain. And pollen grains are usually sticky and spiny. Focus on this point. Pollen grains are usually sticky and spiny. So pollen grains are sticky. This option is there. Apart from that, stigma is sticky and inserted. When the flowers are small, many flowers are clustered into an inflorescence. So these are the common characters of entomophilous flowers. So from the option, you can see the correct option, that is sticky. Sticky pollen grain is given there. So option will be C. So your answer will be C. Next question. Scutellum is. Options given are single cotyledons in monocots, radical sheath in monocots, plumule covering in monocots, or cotyledons in dicots. So scutellum is normally a plate-like or shield-like single cotyledon present in monocots. So that is the explanation for this question. So answer will be single cotyledon in monocots. So option A will be your answer. Next question. The remains of second cotyledon occur in some grasses. It is called scutellum, hypocotyle, epicotyle or epiblast. So already we have discussed that in grass plants a shield-like or plate-like single cotyledon is present and that is known as scutellum. Now here in some grasses remains of second cotyledon are seen, a flap-like structure, and that is known as epiblast. So that special structure is known as epiblast. The remains of the second cotyledon is seen. And the answer is D, epiblast. Next question. Most common type of endosperm in angiosperm is option A, helobial endosperm, cellular endosperm, nuclear endosperm and mosaic endosperm. So already we had learnt that endosperm is the tissue that surrounds and nourishes the embryo in the seeds of angiosperms. The most common type of endosperm is nuclear endosperm. And next mostly seen endosperm in angiosperms are cellular endosperm. And helobial is occur in few angiosperms. Mosaic is a rare type of endosperm. So here the answer will be nuclear endosperm. That is the most common type. So answer will be C, nuclear endosperm. Next question. Double fertilization is discovered by Navashin and Gaignard in options given Lilium and Allium, Lilium and Fritillaria, Ziames and Mangifera, Nigella and Fritillaria. Double fertilization was discovered by Sergius Navashin in 1898 and Jean-Louis Gaignard in 1899. And the plant in which they discovered this process, double fertilization, is Lilium matagon and Fritillaria tenella. So these are the plants, Lilium and Fritillaria. And your answer will be option B, Lilium and Fritillaria. Hope this session will be beneficial for you. And all these questions what we had discussed is important for all kinds of competitive examination. Thank you, my dear children.